Hey guys, want to show your support to the channel and get some awesome rewards at the same time? Then go check out my Patreon page where at whatever tier you choose that fits your budget, you'll get plenty of rewards such as updates and announcements on the regular, exclusive sneak peeks of my videos before they go up online, get yourself credited, and receive a special shout out at the end of my videos and more. Go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack427TV to start pledging today. And don't forget to also check out and consider gifting me any items I have listed on my Amazon wishlist and even supporting me on my Streamlabs tipping page that'll also help support the channel directly. Links are in the description box below as well as on my link tree for you to check out. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Take care. Hey guys, like what we do on our channel and want to see more videos from us? Then not to worry about a thing. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as turning on the notification bell so that way you can see more of our videos coming up very soon. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Hey folks, I'm going to be coming back to Retro GameCon Spring Edition, taking place at the Odd-Center Convention Center up in Syracuse, New York from May 16th through the 17th. I'm going to be there all weekend as a regular attendee, and I'm going to be going as both versions of Barbara from Genshin Impact, which is her as a ballerina on Saturday, and in her regular Deaconess outfit on Sunday. Go to RetroGameCon.com/RGC Spring for more details and information, and if you see me there all weekend, then by all means come on up to me and say hi. Hope to see you there. Yeah, kind of makes sense to have this hand with a glove on for sure, and not the other one. But hey, I need something in context with, of course, the movie I'm talking about here today, so yeah, anyways, hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here with a brand new thoughts video for all of you guys, and, well, I guess pretty much since after pretty much what I've actually gone through pretty much for some time now for sure, especially with, of course, my time at Geek Art Confluence right around the past weekend, which was a lot of fun, by the way. I guess I need some time to wind down a bit while I still work on plenty of videos that I have to get out pretty much for the sake of it for sure, so yeah. I think it's pretty much why I've decided to bridge the gaps is after my time at Geek Art Confluence, leading up to sometime in mid-May coming up, with, of course, Retro GameCon Spring Edition that'll be coming up very soon, so yeah. That's at least what I can say, of course, on that front for sure, so I guess pretty much right up until then, I've got a lot to do for, of course, the next few weeks, hands down. And luckily enough, seeing how I am still doing these thoughts videos for sure, I think it's actually quite fitting that I should talk about a brand new movie that just came out onto the big screen, so yeah. And for those who pretty much, for those who are wondering, I will definitely say this right now, I do indeed apologize if I couldn't actually do pretty much that I didn't have plans to go and see, let alone do a review on, of course, Lee Cronell's take on The Mummy for sure. In fact, I was planning on gonna do that alongside this movie for sure. But obviously enough, pretty much stuff pretty much involving my family might have gotten in the way from, of course, all the hagga for sure, so yeah. And not to mention, some parts didn't go according to a plan, like, of course, I was hoping for, hands down, as my way to catch up for sure, so yeah, like I said, I do indeed apologize if I couldn't have the time to talk about Lee Cronell's The Mummy for sure, so it's definitely a no-go for, of course, seeing that movie for sure, but not to worry, I will plan on, of course, hopefully getting the movie on Blu-ray pretty soon, just so that I can go check it out that way for sure, so So yeah, but as far as, of course, seeing it on the big screen, pretty much, right around the time it came out, and of course, covering on my thoughts videos, yeah, like I said, I couldn't have the time to actually do that. So again, I do indeed apologize for all that. So there's literally nothing I can do, of course, that front. But what I can do instead is that, well, yeah, like I said, give it to something in context with, of course, what you just saw in the thumbnail and at the beginning of course, this video for sure. I will, however, actually talk about this latest movie that just came out not too long ago for sure. That yeah, I did have the time to actually go see very recently for sure. So yeah, that's at least what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, and I guess in regards to today's movie, well, surprisingly enough, we're actually going to be in for, of course, something rather interesting, hands down. Pretty much a, probably the best way I can put it is, of course, pretty much a biopic that actually came out for sure, because, yeah, we always do love a really good biopic, hands down, and give it to my hand, pretty much being covered by this glove for sure. We're not just going to be talking about any biopic for sure. No. We're actually going to be talking about a biopic that's centered around a certain music legend that pretty much goes by pretty much his iconic name, which is the King of Pop. Yeah, I think that will get you the idea, of course, what I'm talking about here today. But for those who don't, I think it's time that we pretty much slip our one glove on for sure, and of course, moonwalk our way pretty much over to, of course, this movie we're going to be talking about here today, which is none other than Michael. So yeah, that is, of course, what we're going to be talking about here today. Not only is this the latest film that just came out not too long ago, but it's actually also based around pretty much the life and career of course, pretty much a well-known music legend, which, again, give it to this obvious hint, that being, of course, Michael Jackson. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright then, well, before I begin talking about this latest movie, yeah, what can I say about Michael Jackson that a lot of people haven't already for sure, right? I think literally from, of course, pretty much when you think of the name Michael Jackson, a lot of things actually come up in regards to when you actually think of him for sure, and yeah, pretty much ever since his debut, pretty much starting all the way with, of course, when he was part of the Jackson 5 to where he is right now, pretty much going solo for sure during his time. Yeah, everything about Michael Jackson, pretty much on the long run, really is actually quite interesting for sure. He's actually got a really great amount of charm and personality to him. Pretty much his signature dance moves are really sharping stuff, and always pretty much always a blast to actually see. And not to mention his, pretty much his music and songs that he would actually put together. You name it, pretty much from pretty much all the great ones that he actually did. Like, of course, Thriller, Smooth Criminal, Remember the Time, Human Nature, Billie Jean, and that's just to name me a few. I swear to God, Michael Jackson really has pretty much labeled himself as not only pretty much a legend in the music industry, but again, as I mentioned earlier, he actually has also go by pretty much his well-known pretty much alternative nickname that a lot of people give to him for sure, that being, of course, the King of Pop. So yeah, literally everything about Michael Jackson for sure definitely needs no introduction whatsoever for sure. He's actually been a powerhouse pretty much when it comes to pretty much his music career for sure. And even after his passing in 2009, his legacy still continues on even to this day, even in different mediums for sure. So yeah, that's literally what I can say about Michael Jackson in the long run for sure. And yeah, I think it's what I can say, of course, that front. So when I heard the news about pretty much a full-on biopic centered around the iconic pretty much singer and songwriter for sure, I actually got myself quite excited, and I am wondering on how it's actually going to turn out for sure. I mean, really think about it for sure. He has pretty much appeared in a few other movies that he actually did beforehand during his time. And not to mention, there are several documentaries released pretty much on, of course, the pretty much the pop icon himself that would probably go more into a detail, of course, his life and career for sure. So I guess pretty much a biopic centered around him does have a lot of potential when you really think about it for sure. So yeah, even I would admit that when I actually saw the trailers I really do think there's a lot of potential for sure. So yeah. So, of course, I did manage to get myself in to officially go and see this movie for myself. All thanks to the kind people at Crown City Cinemas, as always. And, well, now that I've officially got back from, of course, seeing it, I guess a lot of you guys may be wondering, what do I think of this movie now that I finally got the chance to see it? Well, surprisingly enough, I know pretty much a lot of you guys may have heard pretty much so far I think critics have not been very kind to, of course, this movie for sure. But for my own initial thoughts, pretty much from what I can gather, I actually don't mind this flick whatsoever. Yeah. I'm gonna be one of those guys for sure. So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Pretty much as a movie on its own, it's clearly not good from what I can gather, and really doesn't actually have anything to offer to really make it all the more engaging. But of course, as someone who really does enjoy Michael Jackson and want to see pretty much parts of his life and career on the big screen, I think it turned out fine from what I could gather. I mean, yeah, I guess there are parts of it that I just really don't think work as a whole and could have used a little fine-tuning here and there. But some of the stuff that I actually was actually surprised by really actually did impress me in such a way. So yeah, I actually don't think this movie is as bad as the critics are actually saying right now, but I definitely do think it's actually a somewhat decent and fine enough biographical movie that we were hoping that we would possibly get, but could have deserved a whole lot better for sure. So yeah, that's probably the best way I can actually put in regards to this movie. I actually don't mind it, to be honest, and I actually think it's alright from, of course, my part. So yeah. It's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright, done with that. Alright, so now that I've actually got the short version out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about everything that I need to talk about for sure. For starters, is, of course, the story, and well, I guess I will say pretty much going on to, of course, some parts of this movie that didn't work already for sure. Honestly, to me, I think from what I can gather, pretty much the story in this movie, well, I do like, of course, what it's actually trying to give us for sure. Just showcasing as much of pretty much Michael Jackson's life and career as a whole for sure. And it does give us that, yes. But sadly, from what I can gather, the story from what I've actually seen is actually way too cluttered up and clumsy from what I can gather. And yeah, I think with pretty much every single key point from what I can gather, there are some parts that I do think actually do work just fine. But other parts, on the other hand, I think it's yeah, I guess pretty much if anything, it's more focused on what the movie actually pretty much skipped over and got wrong, as opposed to some parts they included in that got right for sure. I mean, yeah, that is certainly the case for other biopics that we actually got for sure. In fact, there are plenty that I've actually seen that actually did the job much better for sure. And yeah, but for the sake of this movie, I do like, of course, what it's trying to give us for sure. But I really do think they could have used a little fine-tuning here and there to really try to make pretty much the stuff that happened in the past into a much more engaging story that would get me hooked on for sure. So yeah. Either way, I guess from what I can gather, that's my main gripe with, of course, this movie for sure. I really don't think the story in this movie really flowed out as I hoped it would be from what I've actually seen. And, of course, to top it all off, the writing as another aspect. That too alone, I really think is not really pretty much crafting out quite well for sure. I do personally believe that pretty much from what I've actually seen, they do have potential to really try to make this one stand out quite well, but truth be told, it really doesn't know how to actually do that from what I can gather, and actually does result in a pretty much a put together script that I personally think could have easily gone through another draft for sure to really try to make it all the more great for sure. So yeah, that's at least what I can say, of course, on that front for sure. So yeah, the story and the writing for, of course, this movie, again, I like, of course, what it's actually trying to give us. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't actually have pretty much the same amount of charm and likability as, of course, what we're actually hoping for all the way. So yeah, I know I'm starting out talking about this movie really rough for sure, but I think with what I've actually mentioned for sure, it's what I could say for the time being. So yeah. Alrighty then, well. So yeah, now that we actually got those two out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about the next couple of things, pretty much, of course, this movie, to which next up is, of course, the characters, and, well, I think I will say if there is quite a few redeeming qualities, of course, of this movie, is that I think for the characters, for sure, I really do think pretty much they are actually given some pretty fine development for sure to really try their best to make them likable and interesting for sure. And yeah, I think with what I've actually seen, despite the crap material that's actually been given, I really do think pretty much the good majority of the characters that we actually got, of course, this movie actually turned out fine for sure. In fact, yeah, I think they are actually portraying the real-life figures that we actually see. And I really do think they actually did do a bang-up job from, of course, what I can gather for sure. They're not really the best kind of characters that I would actually root for sure. But I really do like the approach that they actually went for, hands down. So yeah, that's at least what I can say for the characters for sure. Now, as for the actors that came on board to play all these characters, again, I see another nice redeeming factor in, of course, this movie for sure. I will say all the actors that came on board to play all these characters, yeah, despite the fact that they had to work around the crap material that's actually given to them for sure, I really do think the actors actually pulled off some pretty good performances, in my opinion, for sure. I don't know why. I think each and every single one of them really are committed to really trying to make this movie work in such a way, and I really do dig their performances from what I've actually seen for sure, and I really do think they really did a bang-up job getting the good amount of actors that they actually can for sure. And probably, I think, the massive standout, of course, of this movie would definitely have to be Michael Jackson's own nephew, Jafar Jackson, ironically enough, playing his uncle for sure, so yeah, I know it's rather strange for me to say this. I mean, they could have gone for pretty much another actor for sure, let alone pretty much a Michael Jackson impersonator for sure to portray the role for sure. But surprisingly enough, I really do think Jafar Jackson actually stands out quite well playing Michael Jackson himself for sure. And I know that's saying a whole lot because he actually does come from That's a family that pretty much really established pretty much the whole legacy in the music industry for sure. So I guess seeing Jafar Jackson play his own dead uncle for sure, I really do think he really putting a lot of hard-working effort to really portray his uncle very well, and I'm impressed with, of course, his performance for sure. Pretty much the way he actually talks, the way and the way that he actually sings, and even pretty much doing his signature dance moves for sure. You really do feel that pretty much Jafar Jackson really is portraying Michael Jackson quite well for sure, and I really do think he really did a bang-up job, of course, that front. He really is a massive standout in, of course, this movie for sure, so yeah. And even a couple of others that I can highlight as well, like, of course, Miles Teller and Coleman Domingo. I really do think they did pull off some good performances that I do believe actually worked in such a way, So yeah, that's at least what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, even though I did bash the story and the writing from earlier, I will say the characters and the actors are definitely quite pretty much a couple of nice redeeming qualities that this movie actually gave us for sure, which I really do think is actually quite nice for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright, done with that too. Alrighty then, well, now that I've actually got those two out of the way, what else is there for me to talk about? Well, quite a whole lot, actually. Yeah, I guess pretty much, given for the fact that this movie pretty much really want to capture pretty much part of the life and career of course, Michael Jackson for sure. I guess it is quite obvious that I should mention one thing that I need to mention for sure is, of course, the new renditions of course, Michael Jackson's songs for sure, to which, honestly, to me, I really do think they actually do work quite well from what I've actually seen. They really actually pretty much carry out, of course, pretty much the whole point and theme of course, on what this movie is actually giving to us for sure, and the way they actually incorporate most, not all of Michael Jackson's songs in, of course, this movie, I really do think actually work quite well from what I've actually seen, and again, this was probably back in, like, his early days for sure, so I think it makes sense to actually pretty much incorporating only as much as you can throw in for sure, and I really do think they did do a bang-up job with the music and the songs for sure, so yeah, that I really do think this movie actually did do well from what I've actually seen, and I actually am quite amazed with, of course, what it's actually given to us for sure, so yeah. And of course, for another aspect, the production design for this movie, I really do think it is actually quite nice from what I've actually seen. Pretty pretty much from the nice location scouting that they actually did, to even the nice set designs that they actually put together. Yeah, they really did do an amazing job from what I've actually seen to really make this movie look good for sure, and they really did accomplish that quite well, so yeah. And of course, but I guess I will say, aside from those two, the visuals and the effects, on the other hand, that goes along with it, personally, to me, I really don't think it actually worked out quite well from what I've actually seen for sure, and I really do think some of them I just really don't think actually look real from what I've actually seen, and they could have maybe fixed it up a bit to really try to make it work a whole lot more for sure, but that's at least what I can gather based on my viewing of course, this movie for sure. And of course, the direction in this film from the film's director, well, I mean, it's not bad per se, but I do think they could have thrown in a lot more hard-working effort to really make this one stand out for sure, but that's at least what I can gather from what I've actually seen. It's not bad, but I think it could have been done a whole lot better from what I've actually seen, so yeah. And of course, the cinematography in this film, I really do think it is actually quite good, I'm not gonna lie, with some really nice camera shots that, I mean, okay, are not perfect from what I've actually seen, but I think it gets the job done. I really do think it is actually pretty much shot pretty good from what I've actually seen, so yeah. And of course, the editing, I have to say, well, it's kind of fine from what I can gather. Yeah, with, of course, some cuts that I do think work quite well in pretty much a good number of scenes that they actually showcase. While other times I just kind of felt might a little be a big disjointing for sure, and not to mention pretty much even the film's pacing, I'm not gonna lie, really actually doesn't have anything to really try to really get myself hooked on with, of course, everything that goes on for sure, so yeah, but that's at least what I can say of course that front, so yeah, I think with everything that I've actually mentioned, I think it will get you the idea, of course, of what I thought of this movie as a whole, so yeah. It's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alrighty. Alrighty then, well, I guess with everything that I've actually mentioned, that's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie as a whole, so yeah. I guess overall for my final thoughts, I guess it is quite clear pretty much on what the critics actually thought of this movie. Yeah, parts of it really didn't work and does result in a really disjointing and very dishonorably biopic on the King of Pop himself. But for me personally, I can't lie about my thoughts, of course, on this one. Sure, yeah, I guess there are some parts pretty much in this movie that I do think could have been reworked a whole lot better to really give us such a great time. But some of the really good stuff that we actually got in, of course, this movie, it actually did give me what I was hoping for, just a decent, yeah, fun enough biopic centered around Michael Jackson himself for sure, and that's pretty much what I actually got for, of course, this movie, so yeah, like I said, I do felt the story and the writing and everything else could have been reworked a whole lot more, but with some really good acting, nice renditions of Michael Jackson's songs, to even the really great production design, just to name me a few. Yeah, I guess pretty much if anything, they did try their best to overshadow some parts that I really hate about this movie as a whole, so yeah, and I will give it credit that it did try its best to try to make it look good for sure, and for while I can't necessarily say it's a great movie for sure, yeah, part of me really does kind of wish that it's not worth your time, but honestly, I can't say it's actually that bad from what I've actually seen. And I guess I give it to pretty much plenty of other people who saw it as well. They didn't think it was that bad either, for sure. So yeah, I think it's probably the best way I can actually put it. Yeah, pretty much, Michael may not be, pretty much a strong movie from what I can gather for sure, but I can't necessarily say it's pretty much by all means bad for sure. So yeah, and I know that's saying a whole lot. I mean the idea of course, pretty much a biopic centering around Michael Jackson can actually work for sure. So again, maybe I think with a little bit of a retooling here and there, pretty much from what I've actually seen, I think we would have actually gotten a much better movie than what we actually got here for sure. So yeah, but of course what we got is of course a fine but yeah very clumsy pretty much a musical biographical movie about the King of Pop himself. But I know what we deserve is so much better for sure. So yeah, I guess pretty much of anything, I actually don't mind this movie for what it is. I can't say it's pretty much by all means a great movie, but I don't think it's bad either for sure. I think it's pretty much a fine and yet pretty decent enough movie for sure that we clearly got hands down, which that's okay in my book for sure. So yeah, I think that's probably the best way I can say about Michael for sure. I don't hate it. I don't think it's actually bad for sure. I'm somewhere in between, of course, this one for sure. And again, that's okay in my book, hands down. So yeah, for my final score, yeah, I think I'm going to be fair on, of course, on this one. And I'll give this movie a 6 out of 10 as my final score. Like I said, I can't necessarily say it's a great movie for what it is, but I'm not gonna pretty much be that angry and say it's bad either for sure. So yeah, I think it is a pretty much a good enough example of a movie that that clearly deserves much better than what we actually got here. But, of course, it's still passable nonetheless for sure, so yeah. So I guess that's probably the best way I can actually put it, and, well, if that's your cup of tea, hands down, then yeah, I say this movie is actually worth checking out if you actually got the time, so yeah, if that's something that you can actually muster up for a couple of hours for sure, give this movie a fair shot. I say it's a decent enough time from what I can gather for sure. So yeah, but if you are looking pretty much for a movie centering around Michael Jackson that is much better to watch than this, well, I think my best recommendation, definitely watch some of his documentaries centered around him for sure. With, of course, to me, pretty much the best one being Michael Jackson's This Is It. So yeah, that pretty much that alongside a few others are actually definitely much better movies to actually check out if you're looking for a movie centering around Michael Jackson that is much better to watch for sure. Hell, I can even make the same argument and say that Moonwalker will also be a much better movie to check out for sure. So yeah, but that's what I can gather, at least in my opinion, for sure. So yeah, but in regards to this movie, if you think you can actually get through pretty much a couple of hours of your time, of course, pretty much a decent enough biopic on, of course, the King of Pop himself that does have some good stuff in it, but couldn't actually meet the pretty much the same amount of awesomeness as the music icon himself for sure, then, well, pretty much strap your one glove on and moonwalk your way to your local movie theater to see this movie for yourself. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright, so yeah, I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say about this movie as a whole. And oh yeah, I guess another thing I forgot to mention for sure is that I do hear that there might be rumors that they could actually possibly make a pretty much another one that will explore more, of course, the life and career of Michael Jackson after his early years. And, well, pretty much, hopefully if things go according to plan, we'll probably see what happens, hands down, but I can't fully guarantee that, hands down, so, we're gonna have to wait and see, on how that'll turn out for sure, so yeah, but I guess until then, in regards to this movie, I might as well turn it over to you guys. What do you think of Michael, if you've actually seen it for yourself? Do you absolutely really enjoy it and think it really captured the life and career of Michael Jackson flawlessly for sure, or do you absolutely hate it and think it's not worth a couple of hours of your time and really actually betrays on what we actually love about the King of Pop himself? Or are you like me and thought this movie was alright for sure, with some good stuff in it that did try its best to overshadow some of the bad stuff, but not much more, so yeah, let me know down in the comments down below on what you guys thought of this movie. I'm quite curious, so yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and well, now that I've actually got that done for sure, now I'll be quite curious to see what else I can pretty much get myself in for possibly the next movie I'll actually check out for sure. I mean, I'm not sure pretty much for myself, hands down, but I'm sure we'll see what comes up later on down the road, so yeah, but I guess until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. And yes, I have been keeping this glove on throughout the duration of the review, so again, need something in context with, of course, the movie, so yeah, take care, guys.
Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD and Sam Shepard. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/AckleyattackTV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427'the Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and plenty more, in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, And even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyattackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.